In a small town on the edge of a vast forest, lived a girl named Maya. She was curious and loved to explore. She often spent her afternoons reading about strange legends and myths from around the world. Dragons, fairies, and ancient heroes filled her imagination, but there was one legend that always caught her eye, the story of the Star Walker. This being was said to be a traveler from the stars, capable of granting incredible powers to those deemed worthy. Maya often laughed at these tales, thinking they were just stories to entertain children. Her friends around her didn't care much for tales of magic and fantasy. They preferred to do things like play soccer or ride bikes. But Maya couldn't shake off the feeling that there was something more out there in the universe. One sunny afternoon, while wandering deep into the forest, Maya found a shimmering blue stone near a small pond. As she picked it up, it glowed warmly in her hands. Her heart raced with excitement. Could this be a sign from the universe? She remembered the stories about the Star Walker, how he would leave signs for those who were destined to meet him. With the stone in her pocket, she returned home, eager to learn more about its origin. She searched the internet, read books, and even visited the local library. But no one could explain what the stone truly was. Maya concluded it was merely a pretty rock, but she kept it close, just in case. Days turned into weeks, and one evening, as she gazed at the sky full of twinkling stars, she made a wish. "I just want to see something amazing," she whispered. Suddenly, the blue stone began to pulsate with light. Caught off guard, she dropped it. But before it hit the ground, a powerful flash blinded her for a moment. When the light faded, a tall figure stood in front of her. The being appeared to be made of starlight and shadow. His eyes sparkled like the night sky. Maya felt a mixture of fear and wonder as he introduced himself. "I am Zaruk, the Star Walker." Maya's jaw dropped. Here stood the very being she had scoffed at in stories. You're real?" she stammered, still in disbelief. Zaruk smiled. "I am real. And you, Maya, have been chosen." Maya's heart raced. "Chosen for what?" "To become a guardian of this world," he said, his voice soothing like gentle waves. "Your heart is pure, and you have a brave spirit. You will help protect Earth from those who wish to harm it." "What do you mean?" she asked, her curiosity overcoming her fear. Zaruk extended his hand, and the blue stone floated up from the ground into his palm. It transformed into a glowing orb of energy. "This is not just a stone. It's a key to powers beyond imagination. But with great power comes great responsibility." Maya felt a surge of energy rush through her as Zaruk spoke. "You will learn to harness it, but first, you must prove your worth." Before she could respond, he twisted the orb in his palm, and suddenly, they were soaring through the air. The forest below faded away, and they emerged above the clouds. Maya gasped in amazement, still unsure if this was real or simply a dream. As they floated, Zaruk showed her the beauty of the universe, planets spinning, stars being born, and galaxies glittering like jewels. "You see, Maya, this is just a fragment of what exists. There are beings in the universe who want to invade your Earth and take its resources." Maya's mind raced. "But what can I do? I'm just a girl." Zaruk landed them gently on a distant planet filled with vibrant colors and floating islands. "You are not just a girl. You have the potential to be much more. You will train to become a warrior of peace." Determined, Maya trained hard. Zaruk taught her how to summon energy, create light shields, and even fly. With every lesson, she grew stronger and braver. Her laughter, once reserved for tales, was now replaced with exhilaration as she embraced her new life. But the training was not easy. There were moments of doubt, where she questioned if she could really be a guardian. It was during one of these moments that Zaruk took her to the edge of a cliff on the floating islands. "Remember, every hero faces challenges. What matters is how you rise to meet them." Then came the day of her first real test. They received word of a dark force approaching Earth, a fleet of ships filled with hostile creatures known as the Morich. Zurich gathered Maya and explained the plan. They would confront the invaders before they could land. As they descended back to Earth, Maya's heart pounded. She was scared but more determined than ever. They arrived on a barren piece of land, and soon enough, the Morich ships appeared in the sky, darkening the sun. They landed with a thunderous boom, and the creatures emerged, hissing and snarling, their eyes glowing red. Zurich stood beside Maya, his presence giving her confidence. "Trust in your training. You are ready." With a wave of his hand, he sent a blast of energy towards the invaders, driving them back. Maya felt the energy surge within her. She raised her arms and summoned light, weaving it into protective shields. Together, they fought bravely. The battle was fierce. The Morich were relentless, and at one point, Maya felt overwhelmed. Just as despair began to creep in, she remembered Zurich's words. With a deep breath, she tapped into all her training and unleashed a wave of light that radiated from her. The Morich screeched and retreated, unable to withstand the power. When the dust settled, the invaders were gone, and Maya stood tall beside Zurich. She felt a mix of pride and disbelief at what they had accomplished. "You did it," Zurich said, his eyes shining with approval. "You have earned your place as a guardian." Maya could hardly believe it. She thought of all the stories she had read, laughing at them all, and now she was part of something bigger. "So, this is real?" she asked, still in awe of her journey. "Yes, and it's only the beginning," he replied. "You are now part of a legacy of guardians. Many adventures await you." As they looked out over the land, Maya felt hope and excitement. She had laughed at human legends before, but now she was living one. The universe was waiting for her, and she was ready to embrace it with all her heart. Illyra was a Xylar, a being of pure energy inhabiting a shimmering city nestled amongst nebulae. Xylars viewed humans with a detached amusement, their legends of gods and heroes seeming quaintly childish compared to the vast, indifferent cosmos they inhabited. Illyra, especially, found human tales laughably simplistic. She'd spend hours observing human broadcasts, giggling at their dramatic conflicts and their unwavering faith in seemingly insignificant events. One day, a particularly vibrant broadcast caught her attention. It showed a small, blue planet teeming with life, Earth. A young human woman named Anya was narrating her adventure. Anya worked at a remote observatory, studying distant galaxies. She was passionate, articulate, and brimming with a childlike wonder Illyra found both irritating and strangely compelling. Anya's story was about a strange energy signature detected near a recently discovered nebula, one remarkably similar to the Xylar energy signature. Intrigued, Illyra decided to investigate, a rare occurrence for a being as detached as she was. She materialized a small, shimmering probe, disguising it as a harmless meteor and sent it hurtling towards Earth. The probe landed near Anya's observatory, burrowing into the ground near her favorite observation point. The probe was programmed to subtly influence the equipment, subtly leading Anya towards the source of the nebula's unusual energy. Anya, initially confused, slowly began picking up the strange signals. She found herself drawn to the hidden probe. As she dug into the earth, an inexplicable energy warmed her hands, pulsing gently. The excitement bubbled within her. She knew she was close to something extraordinary, something that might rewrite the pages of human astronomy. Meanwhile, Illyra watched Anya's progress on her observatory's feed, a strange sense of anticipation building within her. This human, with her relentless curiosity and simple tools, was unknowingly getting closer to a truth most Xylars avoided. Illyra had always seen the universe as a cold, uncaring void. Anya's boundless enthusiasm, however, was infecting her, pushing her to experience something new. Anya eventually unearthed the probe, the energy pulsating brighter as she handled it. It was unlike anything she'd ever seen before. The observatory's equipment went haywire, flashing an unintelligible code. Anya knew she wasn't alone. Fear mingled with exhilaration in her heart. She contacted her colleague, Dr. Jian, a seasoned astrophysicist known for his calm demeanor and sharp intellect. Dr. Jian, a pragmatist to his core, was initially skeptical. He'd seen Anya's enthusiasm for anomalies before, but this time, the readings were inexplicably off the charts. His rational mind struggled to explain the signals emanating from the probe. The signals showed signs of intelligence, a level of complexity far beyond anything human technology could produce. He raced to Anya's observatory, his skepticism slowly dissolving as he witnessed the probe's strange energy. He saw the way it reacted to Anya's touch, the way it seemed to respond to her presence, to her questions. Anya, fueled by adrenaline and a lifetime of studying the stars, started experimenting with the probe, attempting to communicate. Back in her nebula city, Illyra felt the probe's connection to Anya. She observed the exchange. The probe was sending simple images to the humans, pictures of her city, of the Xylars themselves. Illyra, using the probe as a conduit, began to transmit a simple greeting, a visual representation of her name. Anya stared at the screen, seeing a shimmering light forming intricate symbols. Dr. Jian, after initially being speechless, began to decipher the pattern. He realized that it was more than simple code. It was a greeting from an intelligent extraterrestrial life form. They were in contact with something that was beyond their comprehension. Illyra observed their reaction with a growing sense of wonder. Their awe, their respect, their inherent desire to understand it was a refreshing contrast to the detachment she'd felt her whole existence. Anya and Dr. Jian were working together, side by side, analyzing the data and preparing a response. Anya, using the probe as a translator, sent a simple message back: "We are peaceful. We wish to understand." The exchange between the Xylar and the humans continued. Illyra, through the probe, started showing the humans images of her world, showcasing its wonders, its beauty, its complexities. She found herself communicating more than just simple images, conveying emotions, even sharing aspects of Xylar culture and history. She shared her stories, her understanding of the universe. For the first time, Illyra understood the appeal of human legends. They were not childish or simplistic. They were expressions of the shared human experience, their dreams, and their beliefs. The human response to the Xylar contact was not fear or aggression, but curiosity and wonder, a desire to connect. Illyra, the Xylar who once laughed at human legends, had found a new legend of her own, a legend woven from a friendship forged across the vast distances of space, a friendship that proved that even the most seemingly different beings could find common ground, sharing experiences and building understanding. The universe, it seemed, was not as cold and indifferent as she thought. It was full of wonders, connections, and shared stories. And for the first time, she was a part of one. In a small town on the edge of the forest, lived a young girl named Mia. She was curious, adventurous, and loved to explore the world around her. Mia had a special interest in stories of legends and myths. She loved reading about dragons, fairies, and space aliens. However, most of all, she laughed at the idea of extraterrestrial beings visiting Earth. How silly, she thought. Aliens were nothing but tales made up by imaginative minds. One day, while exploring the old library, Mia stumbled upon a dusty book titled Human Legends, Myths of the Stars. The cover was worn, but the title sparked excitement in her heart. She opened the book and found stories about ancient astronauts, strange encounters, and powerful beings from beyond the stars. The stories were filled with details of humans encountering beings from different worlds. Mia laughed at each tale, thinking they were impossible. "Can you believe this, Emily?" Mia exclaimed to her best friend, who always joined her on these adventures. Emily shrugged her shoulders, partially interested but mostly unconvinced. "Maybe those things are real," she said. "But they're probably not anywhere near here." That night, as Mia lay in bed, her mind buzzed with thoughts of the extraordinary tales she had read. What if there was truth to the stories? What if aliens really existed? As she drifted off to sleep, her dreams turned vivid, filled with colorful stars and strange creatures. The next day, Mia and Emily headed to their favorite spot in the forest. It was a small glade surrounded by tall trees, and it felt like a world away from their town. They loved sitting there, sharing secrets and dreams. While they talked, something bright flickered in the sky. At first, Mia thought it was just a plane, but it grew larger and brighter, descending towards them. Mia's heart raced as she pointed at the sight. "Look, Emily. What is that?" The bright object landed softly in a clearing not far from their spot. Curiosity took over, and they rushed to see. As they approached, a strange figure stepped out. It was tall, with glowing skin that seemed to shimmer in the daylight. Its large eyes were deep and wise, filled with a kaleidoscope of colors. "Greetings, humans," it spoke, its voice echoing like a gentle breeze. Both girls stood frozen in shock, realizing they were face to face with what could only be an alien. Mia's mind raced with her laughter from the night before. She had laughed at these legends, and now, here was one before her very eyes. "Are you real?" she finally managed to ask. "I am Zilla, a traveler from the galaxy of Crystar. I come in peace, seeking knowledge about your world." Zilla's voice was calming. It extended its hand, showing a device filled with glowing symbols. "I wish to learn about humanity." Emily, still wide-eyed with disbelief, took a small step back. "This has to be a prank," she whispered. But Mia felt a pull towards Zilla. Here was the moment she had read about, the one she thought was impossible. "Why do you want to learn about us?" Mia asked, stepping closer. Zilla's eyes sparkled as if understanding the power of curiosity. "Your kind has a unique connection to the stars. I am here to share knowledge and understand your stories. All beings carry legends, and I wish to learn yours," Zilla explained. Suddenly, they heard rustling in the bushes. A group of local boys, known for their mischief, stumbled upon the scene. They froze, eyes wide, faces filled with amazement and fear. "What is that?" one boy yelled, pointing at Zilla. Before Mia and Emily could explain, one of the boys, Jake, pushed forward, trying to confront the alien. "You're not real. This is a trick," he shouted. The other boys laughed nervously, unsure of what to think. Mia felt a surge of courage. "No, it's real. This is Zilla, an alien. They came to learn about us," she exclaimed, hoping to change their minds. But the boys only chuckled, trying to dismiss what they were seeing. Zilla, sensing the tension, stepped forward. "I wish to help, not to harm. There is a great knowledge within every being. Let me share mine." Zilla then pointed the glowing device at the sky. A shimmering hologram appeared, revealing stars, planets, and vast galaxies. Everyone gasped in unison. The hologram showed beautiful cosmic dances of planets and swirling nebulae, and stories of civilizations beyond their own. Mia's heart raced with wonder. This was the truth she had laughed at, this was real magic. As they watched, Zilla turned to the boys. "Your stories are not just here, on Earth. They stretch across the universe. You must explore beyond your fears and seek these connections. Diverse beings share the same sky." Jake and the other boys exchanged glances, their bravado fading in the presence of such splendor. One by one, they began to look less fearful and more curious. "So, we're not alone?" one of the boys asked quietly. "Never alone," Zilla replied. "Every star is a story. Every story leads to a journey." The boys, now captivated, moved closer, their laughter replaced by awe. Mia beamed at Zilla, realizing that the laughter she once held for human legends had transformed into a powerful understanding. "Can you show us more?" she asked eagerly. Zilla nodded with a warm smile. "If you wish to learn, then let us journey together." In that moment, Mia understood the magic of curiosity. Legends weren't just tales, they were connections waiting to be made. The boys and girls gathered around Zilla, eager to learn about the vast universe and share their human stories. Laughter replaced fear, and excitement filled the air. Mia knew this was only the beginning of something incredible. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with colors of orange and purple, Mia looked up at the shimmering stars. Perhaps, she thought, legends were real. Perhaps, every tale had a hint of truth. And perhaps, in this vast universe, humanity had much more to discover. With newfound friends by her side and an alien teacher before her, Mia smiled. The laughter she had once shared had transformed into bonds of friendship, curiosity, and extraordinary adventures that they would embark on together, beneath the watchful eyes of the stars. Illyra was a Xylar, a being of pure energy inhabiting a shimmering nebula. Xylars saw themselves as superior, their existence far transcending the messy, chaotic lives of humans. They viewed human legends, tales of gods, heroes, and monsters, as childish fantasies. Illyra, especially, found amusement in them. She often spent eons observing human civilizations through her energy-sensing tendrils, finding their struggles and triumphs both hilarious and pathetic. One day, while monitoring a small, isolated human colony on a remote planet called Xylos, Illyra noticed something unusual. The colonists, a hardy group of miners and scientists, were behaving strangely. Their usual routine, meticulously logged by her sensors, had become erratic. Whispers filled their communications, hushed and urgent. Illyra, curious, focused her energy, amplifying her sensory input. She learned that they were experiencing a series of unusual events. Strange lights flickered across the night sky, and unexplainable energy signatures pulsed from the planet's core. Their mining equipment malfunctioned inexplicably, and strange symbols appeared on their monitoring screens, symbols that bore no resemblance to any known human language. Fear, a primal emotion Illyra found particularly amusing, was gripping the colony. Dr. Eris Thorne, the colony's lead scientist, a man known for his calm demeanor, was unusually agitated. His reports were filled with bewilderment and a hint of awe. His assistant, a young and optimistic woman named Lena, was more openly terrified. She constantly checked the security cameras, her heart pounding against her ribs, as she whispered about ancient prophecies and forgotten gods. Illyra, intrigued despite herself, continued her observation. She saw Eris attempting to decipher the strange symbols, while Lena, driven by a desperate hope, consulted old, dusty books filled with human myths and legends. She discovered a legend, a forgotten tale of a celestial being, a guardian, who would appear to protect the innocent and punish the wicked. The legend spoke of a being of immense power, able to manipulate the very fabric of reality. Illyra scoffed inwardly. Humans and their ridiculous stories. Days turned into weeks. The unusual phenomena increased in intensity. The lights in the sky became more frequent and brighter, and the energy pulses from the planet's core became stronger. The symbols multiplied, appearing not only on screens, but also etched into the very rocks of the planet. One particularly strong pulse caused a cave-in, trapping a group of miners deep underground. Eris, distraught, knew he had to do something. He assembled a rescue team, preparing to venture into the dangerous tunnels. Lena, though terrified, insisted on joining them. She believed the guardian from the legend, the celestial being, was somehow involved in the events unfolding around them. She believed this was the moment the legend would become reality. Illyra watched, her energy form shimmering with a mixture of amusement and unease. She still considered it all a strange coincidence, but a part of her, a small, insignificant part, felt a twinge of something she didn't understand. It felt strangely similar to curiosity. As the rescue team delved deeper into the planet, the air grew thick with an almost palpable energy. The symbols glowed with an eerie light, and the temperature dropped sharply. Illyra sensed a powerful energy signature approaching them, something unlike anything she had ever encountered. This wasn't just a planetary anomaly, it was something more. Suddenly, a blinding light engulfed the rescue team. When the light subsided, Illyra saw a figure standing there, silhouetted against the eerie glow of the symbols. It was tall, imposing, radiating an immense power that dwarfed even Illyra's own. It resembled the descriptions from Lena's ancient book, a towering humanoid figure, clad in shimmering armor, its eyes blazing with an otherworldly light. The figure, the guardian from the legend, had appeared. Illyra felt a shockwave of pure energy pass through her. Her amusement evaporated. Fear, that emotion she had found so amusing in humans, gripped her, cold and sharp. For the first time in her long existence, Illyra, the Xylar who laughed at human legends, was speechless. The legend, she realized, was not a childish fantasy, but a testament to something far greater, something she could only begin to comprehend. The human myths, she understood finally, were not just stories, but echoes of something real, something powerful, something divine. The guardian turned, its gaze sweeping across the scene, and then it focused on Illyra. Illyra felt her energy form tremble. The guardian didn't attack, nor did it judge. It simply acknowledged her presence, its eyes reflecting an ancient, inscrutable wisdom. Then, the guardian turned its attention back to the rescue team, its actions swift and decisive. It used its incredible power to stabilize the tunnels, saving the trapped miners. The unusual energy pulses ceased, the strange symbols faded, and the unsettling lights disappeared from the sky. Illyra, still reeling from the experience, observed as the guardian, its task accomplished, slowly faded away, leaving behind only a sense of awe and a profound silence. Illyra, the Xylar who laughed at human legends, had witnessed a miracle. And for the first time, she understood the depth, the power, and the enduring mystery of human faith. She no longer laughed at their legends. She understood. She finally understood. Illyra, a xenoanthropologist, scoffed at the legends. Human legends, she called them, childish tales of heroic spacefarers and impossible feats. She'd spent years studying countless alien cultures, cataloging their myths and rituals, always finding a logical, if sometimes bizarre, explanation. Humans, with their dramatic flair and often inaccurate histories, were a special case. Their legends, she believed, were simply exaggerations of real events, embellished over time. Her research station, a sleek, white structure nestled on a remote moon orbiting Kepler 186f, hummed with quiet efficiency. Her team, Jax, a gruff but brilliant engineer, Kira, a meticulous biologist, and Ben, a nervous but dedicated data analyst, shared her skepticism. They were a tight-knit group, bonded by their shared dedication to scientific rigor and a healthy dose of mutual teasing. One evening, while reviewing data from a newly discovered human artifact, a tattered book filled with faded illustrations and indecipherable script, a strange energy signature appeared on their sensors. It emanated from a nearby cave system, a place they'd initially dismissed as geologically uninteresting. Curiosity, that ever-present itch for the unknown, overwhelmed Illyra's skepticism. The energy signature was unlike anything they'd encountered before. It pulsed with a rhythm that seemed almost sentient. Ignoring the protocols of caution, a feeling she rarely allowed herself, she decided to investigate. Jax, ever the pragmatist, grumbled but agreed to accompany her. Kira, ever the scientist, insisted on bringing along her scanning equipment. Ben, ever the nervous one, tagged along, clutching a data pad like a lifeline. The cave was dark, damp, and eerily silent. The air hung heavy with the scent of minerals and something else, something indefinably ancient. As they ventured deeper, the energy signature intensified, accompanied by a low hum that vibrated in their bones. Kira's scanners went haywire, spitting out meaningless data. Suddenly, a blinding light filled the cave. When their eyes adjusted, they saw him. He stood at the center of a vast cavern, bathed in an ethereal glow. He was human, undeniably so, yet somehow, different. His eyes shone with an inner light, his features were sharp and noble, and he radiated an aura of immense power. He was tall, clad in shimmering armor that seemed to shift and change with the light. He looked exactly like the illustrations in the tattered book, the legendary starship Captain Theron, a figure from human myth described as an almost godlike being who single-handedly repelled a galactic invasion centuries ago. Jax, despite his gruff exterior, gasped. Kira, ever scientific, started recording everything, her earlier skepticism abandoned. Even Ben, forgetting his nervousness, fumbled with his camera. Illyra, the staunch skeptic, felt a chill run down her spine. The figure, Captain Theron, turned and looked directly at them. His voice, when he spoke, resonated with power and authority. It was not the voice of a mere man, but something far greater. "I have awaited your arrival," he said, his voice echoing through the cavern. "You seek answers, I see. You have delved into the mysteries of the past, seeking to prove or disprove the legends of my people." Illyra, usually quick-witted, found herself speechless. She stammered, You are, Theron." He smiled, a gentle, knowing smile. "The legends tell only a fraction of the truth. The scale of the conflict, the true nature of the threat, these were kept hidden to prevent despair." He went on to explain, revealing a history far grander than any legend had suggested. He spoke of advanced technology, intergalactic alliances, and a battle that changed the course of human civilization. He spoke of a desperate gamble, a sacrifice that saved the galaxy. He revealed that the energy signature they had detected was a residual echo of his power, a beacon left behind for those who were willing to seek the truth. For hours, Captain Theron recounted his story, explaining the context of the legends, the true nature of the human struggle, and the price of victory. The seemingly fantastical tales suddenly made sense, were woven into a cohesive whole, far more incredible than anything Illyra had previously imagined. The experience profoundly altered Illyra's perspective. She had laughed at human legends, dismissing them as fanciful tales. Now, she stood before undeniable proof of their core truth, face to face with a legendary figure who had defied the odds. The legends weren't mere stories, they were whispered echoes of a reality far more extraordinary than she could have ever conceived. As dawn broke, Captain Theron faded, leaving behind only the faintest glimmer of light and a profound sense of awe and wonder. Illyra, Jax, Kira, and Ben emerged from the cave, forever changed by their encounter. The skepticism that had once defined their lives was replaced with a profound respect for the untold mysteries of the universe and the resilience of the human spirit. They had witnessed a legend, not just in stories, but in reality. The legends, they now knew, were only the beginning. In a small town on the edge of a vast forest, lived a girl named Lisa. She loved reading stories about legends and myths. The tales often took her to faraway places filled with monsters, magic, and brave heroes. However, as much as she adored those stories, Lisa found it hard to believe in them. "They are just old stories," she often told her friends. "No one has ever seen a dragon or a unicorn in real life." Lisa's best friends, Jake and Mia, indulged her skepticism. Jake would smile and say, "But wouldn't it be awesome if legends were real?" Mia, who was more imaginative, often added, "What if we meet a fairy or a space hero?" One sunny Saturday afternoon, Lisa, Jake, and Mia decided to explore the forest near their town. They packed sandwiches, chips, and drinks, excited for a little adventure. The forest was thick and dark, with tall trees that reached for the sky. Sunlight danced on the leaves, creating a magical atmosphere. As they walked deeper into the woods, they stumbled upon an old stone circle covered with moss. Lisa stopped and squinted at the ancient stones. "I've read about places like this in legends. They say strange things happen around stone circles," she exclaimed. Mia gasped, "Do you think it could be a portal to another world?" Jake laughed, "Come on, Mia. It's just an old pile of rocks. Let's get back to our sandwiches." Though Lisa still thought legends were silly, she couldn't help but touch one of the stones. The moment her fingers brushed against the cold surface, she felt a strange warmth surge through her body. "Hey, do you guys feel that?" she asked, glancing at her friends. Before Jake could respond, the ground beneath them began to tremble. The trees shook, and the air filled with a bright light. Lisa's heart raced as she pulled her hand away from the stone. With a loud crack, a figure burst out of the ground, enveloped in golden light. It was a tall being, shimmering with colors that changed as it moved. Its features were indistinct, like it was made of light and shadows. "I am Seraphis, guardian of legends," it announced in a deep, echoing voice. "You have awakened me from a long slumber." Lisa, Jake, and Mia stood frozen, eyes wide with disbelief. "This can't be real," Lisa whispered. Seraphis smiled, and the light brightened. "Believe, young ones. Legends are not just stories. They are the memories of truths that once were." Mia took a step forward, brimming with excitement. "Are you a real legend?" "Indeed," Seraphis replied. "I have watched over many realms, guarding the stories and the heroes within them. But I am in need of your help." Jake, still feeling skeptical, finally spoke up. "What kind of help?" "The balance between worlds is at risk," Seraphis explained. "A dark force seeks to erase the memories of all legends, to dull the spirits of heroes. I need 3 brave hearts to join me in the battle." Lisa felt a mix of fear and thrill. This was like the stories she used to read, and here she was, part of one. "But we are just kids," she said. Seraphis replied, "Bravery does not come from strength, but from believing in hope. Do you accept the challenge?" Without hesitation, Mia shouted, "Yes. I want to see an adventure." Jake, looking to Lisa, finally gave in, "Fine, I'm in too. But we need a plan." Seraphis pointed to the sky, where a swirling portal had opened, showing a glimpse of another world. "Follow me," it said. They stepped into the light, feeling a rush of warmth and energy. They emerged in a vibrant land filled with strange creatures and vivid colors. The air smelled sweet, and the sounds of laughter and music echoed in the distance. However, Lisa could sense something darker lurking beneath the beauty. "Stay close," Seraphis warned. "The dark force hides among the shadows." As they walked through this enchanted world, they encountered various beings. They met a wise owl who shared tales of past heroes, a playful pixie who led them to hidden treasures, and a talking wolf who spoke of battles fought. However, the atmosphere shifted when they stumbled upon the dark force, a swirling shadow that absorbed the light around it. It roared, and Lisa felt a cold chill. "This is the darkness we must face," Seraphis said, forming a shield of light around them. "What do we do?" Jake asked, gripping Lisa's arm tightly. Mia, full of courage, stepped forward. "We believe in the legends. We fight for them." She raised her tiny fists, as if it would help. In that moment, Lisa realized the truth of their adventure. All those stories she had doubted were real, and they were part of this tale now. They needed to believe in themselves and in each other. Together. Lisa shouted, finding her own courage. She took Mia's hand and grabbed Jake's. They stood united, their hands glowing with a warm light. Seraphis raised its arms, and they channeled their belief into a powerful beam that struck the darkness. The shadow writhed and twisted but began to break apart, scattering like dust in the wind. With one final burst of light, the dark force vanished, and the land erupted in cheers. The creatures of the realm celebrated their victory, hugging Lisa, Jake, and Mia. "You did it!" Seraphis beamed, its light dancing happily. "You believed in the legends, and now they live on." As they prepared to return home, Lisa looked at her friends with a smile. "I guess legends are real after all." With that, they stepped back through the portal, emerging once again in the stone circle in their forest. The trees stood silent, but now Lisa could hear the whispers of legends in the rustling leaves. From that day on, Lisa never doubted the stories again. Instead, she cherished them, knowing that heroes could be ordinary kids with strong hearts and minds full of belief.